Well, the absolute foundations of Christian leadership are, first of all, to be somebody who's being led by Christ. So you can't be a leader unless you're, first of all, a follower of the Lord Jesus. We're all called to be disciples who've repented of our sin and put our faith and trust in Jesus. So you can't be a Christian leader unless you're first and foremost being led by the Lord Jesus. And I think that's a problem for many Christian leaders. They don't recognise that being led by Christ is the most important foundation for their own leadership. Now, of course, what that means is then being obedient to Christ. It means loving Christ. It means serving Christ. So making Christ central. So we therefore need, as Christian leaders, a healthy devotional life at the very basis of our Christian leadership. Christian leaders, I think, need a strong theological understanding of the gospel. They need to understand what the gospel is. They need to understand what the Bible teaches. And they need to have a godly and spiritual wisdom that enables them to discern what God's will is in the specific situations and challenges that they're facing. I think the skill of wisdom and spiritual discernment is underrated, but we find in the New Testament that that is something that is very significant. Paul urges Christians to be transformed by the renewing of their minds so that they can know and approve and understand what God's will is. The Bible doesn't tell us everything that we need to know, and it doesn't tell us everything that we ought to do in leadership. We have to, through godly principles of wisdom, work out what leadership will mean in any situation. So I think to be led by Christ, to be devoted to Christ, to be devoted to his word so that we understand the gospel and what he teaches, to be made wise by his Spirit so that we can be discerning and make good decisions. I think those are foundations for good Christian leadership.